What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the things that I hope the Chicago Bulls will be doing and learning from in training camp as we head towards our first couple of preseason games very shortly. Now, at the end of the day, it's very interesting time, a very fun time for the Chicago Bulls. Our players are back together, working hard together. You've seen the clips on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and everywhere you could possibly imagine about the Chicago Bulls and how they're doing in training camp, but they won't show you everything, ladies and gentlemen, because of course I don't think they can show you everything because other teams will get advantages and stuff like that. So we'll take a deeper dive into training camp and what I think the Chicago Bulls are hopefully doing in training camp to actually get us the upper hand and the edge in the regular season, which is what it's all about. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls. How successful do you think we'll be throughout the preseason? Because we are very close to that. For me, I think the first game is October 5th, which I believe would be October 4th for you guys. So very short amount of time, we get to see the Chicago Bulls play their first game. We get to see what they're working on in training camp. We get to see the playmaking or the plays being run. We will get to see everything in relation to that very soon. So it's going to be a big time, and it's definitely one I'm really looking forward to. But we're still a couple days away until we can get to that sort of level right now where we get to watch those games and stuff like that. So here's what I have to say about training camp. The highlights that I've seen so far, they look good, but as every single piece of highlight, it's only going to show the positives. It's only going to show the motivational speeches that Billy Donovan is giving. It's only going to show, I guess, guys being happy, smiling, cheerful, winning games, everything like that. I've seen the Chicago Bulls training camp highlights before, ever since we were a tanking team, and it all was sunshines and rainbows during that time. And it should be. For the players, it should be a very happy occasion. You're starting your NBA season very soon. You're in a position right now where you're learning your new teammates. You're having fun with your new teammates. You're having fun with your old teammates. It's kind of like when you're, I guess, in school. If any of you are in school right now, or maybe, again, you just recollect, you rethink about school. You have a 6-week holiday, I think it is, after you finish the last term of your year. You get 6 weeks of just break. You can do whatever you like in those 6 weeks. But during those 6 weeks, once it's over, you come back on your first day of school, you get to see everybody again. It's like old friendships rekindled, new friendships form, things like that. That's exactly what a training camp kind of is. You get the off season to work on your game. Yes, you see each other from time to time. Majority of the time, you're on your own. You're doing your own thing. You're working on your own game. And training camp is kind of that situation where everybody gets to join back together. So the first thing I hope I see from training camp is them having fun. If you're not having fun in training camp, it's going to be a very long start to the season, and it looks like they're having fun, but all things considered, it won't always show the negative side of what's happening during training camp. It won't show the struggles, it won't show how hard it's going to be, and that's another thing I wanted to add. I hope the Bulls are working extremely hard during training camp. I personally believe, and this is just me, there's no facts behind this, I don't know if there's anybody else saying this outside of me. I believe the start of the season is not necessarily about what plays are run and what, I guess, tactical analysis you can do, but who is fitter. And the fittest teams, in my opinion, at the start of the year will have the best starts. That could be me, I could be wrong, but just from, I guess, my experience in other sports, and also what I just personally feel, I feel like if you come into this season extremely fit and healthy at the start of the year, you will have the upper hand on other teams that did not train as hard as you. So I'm hoping the Bulls are training harder than 29 other teams right now, so we can at least have the upper hand on those teams when we face them earlier on. Now, during the season, 2-3 weeks down during the season, everybody will be on the same playing field. Everybody will have game time experience. Everybody will be running the same. Everybody will be working just as hard as each other. But for those first couple of games, if you're outworking those teams, you will most likely win those games. And yes, we'll have the talent, because I do think we have a lot of talent on this team. But if we have that work ethic, I think that's what's going to get us to a good start to the year. So I'm not necessarily focused about the certain plays that we run. Of course, we'll be learning that in training camp as well. It's the whole point. You experiment with lineups, you experiment with rotations, you experiment with plays. But I'm hoping we're really taking a deeper dive into the fitness side of things and getting everybody extremely fit and try to outwork other teams throughout the start of the year, and let our talent do the rest throughout the middle and the end of the year when everybody's going to be working just as hard as each other. So that's a very interesting concept. I don't know how many people are saying that, and maybe there are people saying that, but I feel like that is very, very important when you're diving into training camp. As much as it is getting to know your teammates, learning plays, it's also about being fit, and how fit are you going to be heading into the regular season. So I'll tell you this for now. If we're going to have a slow training camp where no one's really running and everybody's just learning plays, by the time the preseason comes around and by the time the regular season comes around, we are at a massive disadvantage. There will be teams that will overrun us. There will be teams that absolutely demolish us in every single way, form, and fashion. So it's not all about plays during training camp is what I'm trying to say. And I hope the Chicago Bulls can take a deeper dive into that. But obviously as well, when it comes to those plays, when it comes to, I guess, having fun and enjoying yourself, I also feel like, again, you got to focus on everything else. You got to focus on running plays. You got to focus on good groups, who's working together. So what Billy Donovan said in his interview, we're going to be forming groups and seeing which groups work well together, who's going to be playing best with each other and things like that. So that will obviously be important. I hope we're trying to figure out the rotation and how many minutes everybody's going to get, who's going to start, who's coming off the bench, how many minutes is everybody going to have, set rotations. That's going to be very, very important as well. Experimenting in the lineup also, Andre Drummond and Nikola Vucevic, as I mentioned in the last video. These things are also very, very important as well. So I do hope we're learning that side of things. And look, it's very easy to learn those side of things as well. It just takes time, it takes practice, and sometimes it takes in-game experience. Sometimes it will take preseason to see what we're going to do, what we're working with, or what we're not working with. And I'm just hoping overall that everybody's bought into the process. No one wins a championship if you're not bought into the process, and that's where the coach comes into play. The coach has to sell everybody on a certain goal, a certain ambition, a certain coaching style, everything, and everybody has to buy into that. Everybody has to be fully committed to that, and for 1 second that someone decides it's not worth it, or we're not bought in, or there's something that's taking them out of their zone, everything else will start to follow as well. So everybody has to be committed, bought in, and we'll see how the season goes. But that's what I hope training camp is looking like right now. I hope everybody's having a laugh. I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope everybody's smiling. But when it comes to the gritty side of things, I hope everybody's working 10 times harder than other teams. I hope that we're going to come into this start of the season fitter than other teams and outworking other teams. And then I hope we work on those plays. I hope we work on the lineups. I hope we work on the X's and O's of the game. And I hope we work on the angles in which we can make passes and things like that. But I really do feel like we've got to be focusing on just how fit we're going to come into this, and obviously how fun it's going to be during training camp. Because if you're not having fun, you're definitely not going to be winning basketball games either. So that's what I hope, and I hope that that's exactly what's happening. And I tend to believe the highlights that I see, but highlights are not everything, and highlights do not show everything. So I guess my answer to that is yes, be excited, be very, very happy that everybody's back in training right now, but don't be fooled just by the fact that you're seeing a lot of people smiling. There is a lot more work that has to be done that we are not seeing right now, and hopefully that's where the positivity will come from, more than just getting caught on camera smiling. So yeah, fingers crossed that everything is going positively in training camp, and ultimately I guess we'll kind of know where we're at by our preseason games. Maybe not the first one, but maybe the third one or the fourth one. Those last two games we'll kind of see where we are as a team and how far we could go at the start of the season as well. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I will be making a Bulls Weekly very, very soon, probably towards that Sunday, because again, if you guys know what Bulls Weekly is, very, very important to this channel. I've done it 2 years in a row now, and I plan to make it a third year as well, where we look at those games and we see what we could get out of them and things like that. Very, very important. But we're getting to those, I guess, the old routines, I guess you could say, the game reactions every 2 or 3 days, and I'm excited for it. So we'll see how we go throughout the season, and hopefully I'll be making very, very good game reactions and not those ones where I just don't want to be there, I'm frustrated, or we're losing so badly, or we blow a lead and we go on rants and things like that. I hope I see a lot less of those as possible. but you never know. Things will just happen the way that they happen. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay tuned for more. Take care.